Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I hope that you can hear and see me okay. I am so pleased to be with you today on my own channel at vickidillard.tv. That's vickidillard.tv. You can reach me directly here live or the replay there, or you can go to YouTube and put in Vicki Dillard TV. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I always like to let you know where you can find me now, because so many of you are used to finding me on other platforms and other networks that I have helped to build and bring great credibility and profit to over the years. So please let everybody know they can find me live here. Of course, you'll still be able to see some of my other content on other platforms, but in terms of specifically live, I'm continuing to build now my own channel, in addition to some of the other stuff that your queen of Black alternative media is doing. I use that phrase because you all came up with that phrase some years ago to describe your sister with the curly braid, and us using alternative Black independent media to get our message out. Family, on the count of three, if you would, on the count of three, would everybody please hit that thumbs up button and share, share, share. By the way, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so. Hit the subscribe button, hit receive all notifications, notwithstanding some of the issues that some folks have in actually receiving it. Sometimes you may want to unsubscribe and then subscribe again, because you have no idea how many times folks have told me that some of the platforms automatically unsubscribe them. It's crazy, which is why we're being very intentional about subscribing, sharing, giving thumbs up, and making sure that you support your own. I've said this many times before. You know, we're multi-dimensional people. So, of course, we like different things. I'm a girl. I like to look at beautiful stuff sometimes online. So I may like on something that may have nothing to do with politics or something like that. But you best believe that I'm not going to put more attention in promoting that over the well-being of my people and the overall well-being of the planet. So it's your responsibility that if you're going to make a whole stranger go viral, you should intentionally make your sister with the curly braids message go viral, because my message is about you. My message is about the well-being of the entire planet. So that's on you to do. Talk black to me, somebody. We often talk about how mainstream media don't put our messages on. They don't want to hear what we have to say, but we have to look among ourselves and say to ourselves, how many of you all, Talk Black to Me, have talked about some of the work that your sister with the curly braids have done over the years? How many of you all have posted? How many of you all have supported financially and in your presence? That's on us. And I know the work that I do. And so that's up to you to see its value and to retrain your mind to not automatically support someone else and something else that's a stranger to you and that means you no good. And you want to intentionally do the same thing for somebody who consistently does what they are. God, today, I know who I'm called to be. I know what I'm called to do. And if you don't rock with me that way, I promise you, I won't lose one night's worth of sleep. But I'm just letting you know and giving you an opportunity to do what I believe you must. We're at war and you need to act like it. When you're at war, that means that there is a level of sacrifice. Some of our people consider typing in something, retweeting something as a sacrifice. That's outrageous to me. I said, that's outrageous to me. And some of you think that you're doing me some kind of favor, or you have to think 15 and 20 and 30 and 40 times before you decide whether or not you're going to like on something. Or one day I said something, or she took too long to get this particular subject. I didn't like what she had on. She coughed too much. Her nails too long. Her braids are curly, but I'm going to call it a weave. Her braids are this, but I'm going to tell her she got on European hair. I'm going to do this with your weird little sick little twisted self. You little weirdo, you little weirdo, you little wily walnut, you little silly nut. Anybody got time for you and anybody thinking about you? Keep it moving, baby. The same way if you're watching cable television at home, God, today, you're not getting ready to message ESPN if they put on something you don't want to watch. You're not going to be messaging CNN to put your 2 cents in about something outrageous. You switch channels. I suggest you do the same. I just got to put that out there. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Now I'm going to get to where I'm going real quick. Talk black to me, somebody. Again, family, hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. I got to say, y'all, I had so many people on Sunday's free webinar that I did on why your white evangelicals, United States and Israel are hastening Armageddon. Didn't I drop some jewels, y'all? Didn't I do some 2 hours plus? Then y'all show up big time. It was so many people that registered, and so many of you all that end up missing. Some of you were having technical issues. Some of you messaged me. We had people that message on Instagram, YouTube, emailed us, and I'm forgetting something. I had some direct messages from some friends too. So I'm talking to my team about doing a one-time replay after, even though I told most of you that we were not going to do a replay. I didn't make that message. I didn't make that announcement when I first started promoting it. But toward the end, I started to promote the fact that we weren't going to do a replay. So stay tuned, because so many people have contacted us in one way or another asking for the replay, even though we had a huge, huge turnout. But this is information that I can't share online. Just so you know, the high level information I'm going to be dropping, the spiritual and political, the geopolitical, political, and supernatural information I'm going to be sharing is going to be only reserved for those that are a part of the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. You all know that they censor us for a reason. They censor me for a reason. And I was being censored before COVID. I was being demonetized on different platforms before all that. There's a reason for that. And you don't want to miss this. And all of the stuff that you see going on in the world today, I'm preparing people for such a time as this, so you would be out of your mind not to make the very meager investment in yourself of what? $40-something. The price is going to eventually start to go up. We were at $45, and so we're going to be raising the prices here soon. I wanted to give everybody value up front by providing a free environment, but I wanted to give you the goings on with the stuff that's happening here in the United States, with the government still failing to give we foundational Black Americans reparations and justice and an appropriate crime bill and all of the things that we're entitled. I wanted to connect some dots with in terms of why we're spending billions of dollars with the white Zionist Israelis and their interconnection and their modern, their current plot and plan to undo foundational Black Americans. And what that has to do with our connection geopolitically. For those of you that often ask, why does Vicki talk about international issues and what them folks got to do with us? I'm not going to go there right now, because just let me leave that alone. Just let me leave that alone. But let me get to where I'm going quickly. So I wanted to thank you all for showing up big time. If you want to join my school, we'll put the link for the Vicki Dillard Mystery School in the chat. This is about getting the supernatural knowledge and the insight that you need to know. Everything you see came from everything you can't see. Talk black to me, somebody. Somebody said, Kimberly said, thank you for your service. Somebody else says, YouTube deletes my comments if I use the word Asian. Wow. You know how they do, child. Tropical Bunch said, I would love to see the Sunday service again. Tropical Bunch. Somebody else called it the Sunday service too. I was being funny when I said that we're going to have church because it was on a Sunday. So that's what I was telling y'all in the beginning. But it was absolutely powerful. So yes, family. So for those who are interested, do not delay, family. Make this your enrollment in the Vicki Dillard Mystery School so that you can be in the know, and more importantly, so that you can understand the source of your power in terms of who's going to be the new world rulers, and that's you. You want to be on top of that, and you want to understand your unseen connection to the seen. Now, some of you may say, I'm not religious. I'm not into that woo-woo stuff. No, I'm not religious either, baby. But that doesn't mean you're not spiritual. All of us are spiritual, whether you like it or not, whether you like to admit it or not, and whether or not you understand how to activate that reality of who you are. And if you're somebody that loves to just jump out there and reject that part of you, then I don't know what you made of, because that's contrary to what your ancestors and the high level lineage that we come from, and the reason we rule the way that we rule. You totally contrary to your nature when you reject that. Now you have rejecting oppression, how the religious systems have been used to oppress us. Of course, that's outrageous. That's why I reject that. And that's why I say I'm not religious, but I'm certainly spiritual. And you've got to understand that our key to overcoming some of the most powerful governments that have nuclear weapons, talk back to me, somebody, and that controls and dominates the levels of power, you can't use natural weapons to combat that. Did you hear what I said right there? Don't forget, the Vicki Show is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. You have to understand your spiritual power. You have to grow your spiritual acuity and skills. You must become aware of your unseen aptitudes. But you must first understand its origin and then connect it to certain rituals so that over time you're transformed, starting with you, so that you can turn around and transform your home, transform your community, transform your neighborhood, transform your state, transform your nation, and then transform the world. Talk black to me. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Hebrew, you're Jewish, you're not. I don't care what. I don't care if you come from root work. I don't care if you espouse to Vedic, some of the Vedic sciences. I don't care if you're Hindu. I don't care if you are involved in voodoo. I don't care whatever spiritual system, whatever religious system you come from. You can find value in the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. Now, let's put the link in the chat right now for those of you that are interested in that. And family, in the meantime, just be on the lookout for announcements, because I'm confirming things with my team. Y'all know I don't do that stuff on my own. I got to have people to help me in terms of doing the the technical stuff. They just let me do my magic, baby. And then they set all the little stuff up with the messages and the Zoom stuff and the tech stuff, the computer stuff. They do all the behind the scenes stuff. Talk black to me, somebody. Your sister is moving forward, focus on my health and making sure that you're good. So when I have a team around me that helps me do what I can't do myself, that makes me more valuable to you, and I'm able to do more. Notwithstanding, Kimberly says, thankful for the Vicki team. Oh, you so precious. I'm gonna make sure I tell the team that you said that too, precious. So family, the link is pinned above if you want to join the Vicki Dillard School. Again, it was about $45. The price is gradually going up, so those prices obviously are subject to change, but there's going to be a steep price increase soon. I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to get in where they fit in before the price goes up extraordinarily. So you want to get in now, make that investment. Most of you can't even fill your car with a tank of gas for no $45, $46, $47. You can't even get a bus pass for a month for that. Talk black to me, somebody. You can't get on public transportation for a week with no $45 in most cities and states. And too many of y'all out there is too cheap. Do you know cheap is an energy? Do you know cheap is a spirit? Y'all know I've talked about that before. Some of y'all laughed at me because I said cheap people make me itch. Cheap people I'm allergic to. It's a mindset. Timbo, your super chat is blessed 1,000-fold. It's a mindset. If everything you do is always about couponing, I believe in coupons. But I'm saying a mindset of if it ain't 99.99, if it ain't 99 cents, and if everything ain't always on sale, if I can't always get it, if that's the first thing in your mind, you are spiritually contagious. Poverty is not just what's reflected in your purse or pocketbook or wallet. It's a mindset. It's an energy exchange. And you with your itty bitty minds and thinking that will go out to say, just some stuff you ought to give for free. Make sure you pay my rent. Make sure you give me what I need, baby, when I need to do my medical stuff. Make sure you make a donation so I can get my hair done, and stop acting like what you're doing every now and then, every 6 months. I can't even get my nails done for that. But do you really need that? Yes. Honey, I'm a girl. The magic that you see, baby, all of it's got to go together. I can't get a single rose for some of that you playing around like you revolutionary. God today. Do you even care what the bills show? Do you even matter that the people that are doing good for you, what we go through behind the scenes, do you even ask? Do you even try? No, just give, and you just eat. What they charging? $39.99, $40-some for 30 days. What? Get your funny looking stuff out my face. Virgil, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Shout out to my moderator, Lisa Parker. She's one of my day ones. Y'all don't know about that. Louise, your gift is best on Cash App 1,000-fold. Vicki, do you have a membership? Oh yeah, I'm saying the Vicki Dillard Mystery School is a membership every month. $40-some a month for access to Vicki Dillard Mystery School, beloved. The link is pinned in the chat, precious. I hope I answered your question. Now, y'all, let me hurry up because I got an interview in a few minutes. So y'all know how I come on here and tell you I gotta go. And my assistant would tell me, Vicki, you gotta go. Well, today I gotta go for real because I literally have an interview in just a few minutes, but I had to hop on real quick. I have talked about this on other platforms, but how many of you have heard not too long ago where Tucker Carlson. How many of y'all know who Tucker Carlson is? He was the top Fox News' former top host. Remember that? And him and Fox News got into a big fight. They didn't end up renewing his contract and stuff. I think they still got a lot of legal stuff going on behind the scenes. Well, Tucker Carlson, after he left, ended up doing an interview with Vladimir Putin, right? So Vladimir Putin, as you all know, our government tells us that he's an authoritarian. They tell us that he's a dictator. They tell us that he's an autocrat. You know, they tell us that he's illegally waging a war and tried to take land from Ukraine and in the Crimea. All that's a lie, honey. All that's a bunch of lies that your government is telling us about. So notwithstanding that, and I don't need to be no Russian shield, but I'm just saying, stop believing the liar that you know is a liar. Talk black to me, somebody. So they were mad at Tucker because Tucker ended up doing the interview with Vladimir Putin. I'll talk more about that later on, even though I've done other broadcasts on other platforms about that. But I'm getting to where I want to go quickly because I got to show you this clip before I go. It's real short. And I'm making a larger point, and you're going to see this. And I'm putting a narrative out into the atmosphere that I want you all to pick up and help to think through, and then help to come up with strategies on how we can combat a little devilish bit of legislation that your government has already passed in Congress, the lower house of Congress, the House of Representatives, and it's now moving through the Senate for approval. I've talked about some of this before, but I want you to think about it in this context. Now, I don't know how many of you all have ever heard of the Black Hebrew Israelites. Now, you all know I just told you that I'm not religious. I've told you that, you know, I'm a spiritualist, right? And notwithstanding my disagreements with certain dogma and doctrine from other spiritual systems and religious folks, I point out the hypocrisy of white supremacy, or the evidence of white supremacy in all of those systems, including amongst the Hebrew Israelites. Are y'all hearing me? This is the reason why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up also is because some of the very ones, them folks that have accused folks like Minister Farrakhan, some of our celebrities and stars, and folk like us of being anti-Semitic every time we call out their white supremacy, every time we call out their oppression, they want to run and bring up their religion. Let me hit the gavel. They get mad at us when their religious cloak doesn't stop us from calling out their oppression. So then they turn around and start talking to you about their German Holocaust. So the moment we say, no, you are oppressive, the moment we say, no, you enslaved my people, the moment we say, no, you owe us reparations, the moment we say, no, you still pimping our gifts and skills, they turn around and say, oh, you anti-Semitic. We say, anti-Semitic? Fool who? We, who while we were still under Jim Crow that went over to Germany, while we was being lynched, and Jim Crow laws were still enforced in America, we went over there to free you from Hitler. You calling us anti-Semitic? We who you and your lineage and some of your people enslaved? You calling us? Baby, that dog don't hunt. Black folks are the sweetest, kindest people on the planet. We love to include everybody, even to our detriment. Talk black to me, somebody. Brother Zebulon said, no alerts. He said, your spirit alerted me. I'm so glad, precious. Y'all know how they do. Thank you all for giving us a big thumbs up, sharing. Watch this. So they get mad. Black folks, we don't even want to talk about your religion. You keep bringing up your religion so we don't talk about your wickedness. Y'all see that trick? Anybody even trying to talk about your religion? Silly, but since you're going to bring it up, let's go here. So Fox News, former host, because he don't work there no more, because I told you he's still doing legal stuff to my knowledge, with Fox News. Tucker did an interview with Vladimir Putin a few months ago. I watched the entire interview. I think it was early February. Sometime in February, he did that. I enjoyed the interview thoroughly, actually. But Vladimir Putin made Tucker look like a total fool. Watch this. It was still good that Vladimir Putin did it, even though Hillary Clinton and your mainstream white media, including your Democratic so-called progressive media, they came out and started calling Tucker all kinds of names. They were doing all kind of interviews like Hillary Clinton to preempt him. Hillary Clinton even called him basically, I forget what she called him, that he's Vladimir Putin's lapdog or something. Like she was calling him all kind of names because he was interviewing. No, Hillary is a liar and she's a genocide. That's why we call her in the black community Hillary Clinton. We call her Hillary for a reason. Her real name is Hillary Rodham Clinton. The black community, we call her that. So before she got on the stage and made a fool of herself and started murdering the Gaddafis of the world, tricked Obama, your so-called first black president when she was Secretary of State, pimped him and made him look like into a war criminal too. Black folks was already on game because what her and her husband did to us, silly. That's why we called her Hillary Clinton. Hillary. Funny looking set. Vicki, get on. I got y'all for real. Y'all gonna be like, Vicki, always say you gotta go. Watch this. I'm gonna go for real because I can't hold. You'll see about the interview I'm doing with this beautiful platform coming up soon. So I gotta hurry up. Let me show y'all this clip. Like I said, I've already done this. If you follow me on some of the other platforms I'm on, I've already discussed this probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, but it aired a few days back. But I did it a few weeks back. But watch this. So Tucker interviewed Russia's Vladimir Putin, right? After he did the interview, he did a follow-up interview with this on this platform by this guy named Lex Friedman, right? So he went on Lex Friedman's show because Lex Friedman has a big platform. He went on his show to talk about his interview that he did with Vladimir Putin. Now, in the process of Tucker Carlson talking about his interview with Vladimir Putin, he want to bring up the Black Hebrew Israelites. Baby, what nobody catching this until your sister talked about it. And I got to bring it to your attention because I'm trying to show you them folks is nervous. Again, don't get it twisted whether you agree with the Black Hebrew Israelites or not. Remember, I told you it's not me sitting here endorsing or rejecting, for it or against it. I'm just trying to show you how white supremacy exists in all spheres of people activity, including religion, and how even Black folks claiming being a Hebrew Israelite is a problem for these white folks. Watch this. And of course, I'm saying this clip is covered under the Copyright Act of 1976, copyright for fair use. Some way I'm probably okay. Let me set this up. Y'all ready? Y'all, this gonna be real short. Like I said, I literally gotta go in just a moment. Watch this. Again, this is Tucker Carlson discussing his interview that he just did with Vladimir Putin a few months ago, right? He's on Lex Friedman's show, and he's talking about in this particular clip, he's talking about how even Vladimir Putin was talking about how when he wanted to denazify the Ukrainians, and Tucker couldn't believe that there were still Nazis in Ukraine. What the hell is wrong with Tucker? These white supremacists, they be in denial, don't they? You will hear the context. This is only about less than 2 minutes. I'm gonna go in and go out. Y'all listen. Y'all ready?
Right, exactly.
No,
exactly.
I totally agree with you.
It was very strange, but maybe it was perhaps
had
to do with.
Okay, let me skip. I thought I was at the right point. Okay, here we go. We getting close. I had to go back. I went too far. Everybody, please keep hitting that thumbs up button. Share. Thank you so very much.
I was like, I really felt like we were just speaking so far past.
Again, he's literally talking about his interview with Russia's Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin had just told him about how Russia was also addressing the Nazis in Ukraine.
Some great conversations will involve some challenging, like you were confused about denazification. Well, first of all, I accept your criticism and I accept it as true that in some way I'm probably pivoting against what I dislike. And I have such contempt for American journalists on the basis of so much knowledge that I probably was like, I don't want to be like that. Fair. That is a kind of defensiveness and dumb. So you're right. As for the Nazi thing, I was like, I really felt like we were just speaking so far past each other that we would never like come to. It's like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And and especially when I decided or concluded that he really meant it, I was like, that's just too freaking weird to me. It's almost like.
Just, do y'all hear that? Again, the context of that, because this interview was over 3 hours long. But in the middle of the interview is when he started saying, talking to Lex about the fact that in his interview with Vladimir Putin was telling Tucker that there are actual Nazi Ukrainians. We know that to be true. So Tucker is sitting here saying that he couldn't basically believe that. Now, in the context of him talking about Putin saying that Ukraine got Nazis, watch what Tucker getting ready to say now in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I can think of many other examples where you're interviewing someone else, say something that's like, I was interviewing a guy one time and he started talking about the Black Israelites. and we're the real Jews. And I was like, and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, it was so far out to me that I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that. So, you mentioned there's a bunch of conspiracy theories about.
Did y'all catch that? Vicki gotta go. I gotta go. The lady just texted me. Did you all just catch that? Y'all, did y'all just catch what he said? Here he is in the context of talking about how he couldn't believe that there were real Nazis in Ukraine when Vladimir Putin told him in that live interview that Vladimir Putin wanted to denazify Ukraine. He said he didn't understand what he was talking about, right?
So, you're right. As for the Nazi thing, I was like, I really felt like we were just speaking so far past each other that we would never like come to. It's like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And and especially when I decided or concluded that he really meant it.
Watch this.
Like, that's just too freaking weird to me. It's almost like, I can think of many other examples where you're interviewing someone else, say something that's like, I was interviewing a guy one time and he started talking about the Black Israelites and we're the real Jews. And I was like, and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, it was so far out to me that I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that.
He said, we'll never come to terms on that and come to terms on that. White folks are in denial that Black folks can actually claim that they're the actual Hebrew Israelites. White people are not the newest. The white people are the newest people on the planet. Black folks are the most ancient. So why is it out of the question for you? We know why it's out of the question for you, because y'all mess with all the sacred books. You mess with all the artifacts. You mess with all of the monuments. You mess with all the historical books, and you made them into you, which we know is a lie. Talk black to me, somebody. I'm gonna go further on this later, but I want you all to listen to that. And the twist that I'm making on it, y'all, while I get ready to go. How many of y'all remember the other day when I was talking about how the House passed this controversial anti-Semitism bill? Y'all probably saying, Vicki, where you going with this? Look, y'all remember that? And how a part of the definition that your government is changing the definition of anti-Semitism based on a foreign agency's definition. And do you know that what's tucked in that legislation that's passed through the House is that they consider it to be anti-Semitic if you say that the Jews crucified Jesus. Do y'all know that? Why am I bringing this up? To my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, and I'm finna go for real. And I'm gonna click off. Y'all may have to go and strategize in your particular places of worship. Because if they sit up there talking about anti-Semitism and who the true Israelites and Hebrews are, and that's a connection, because of course we know that y'all don't technically use that term Jews and Judaism and all that kind of stuff in some of your sects, but nevertheless it's still an offshoot of the Hebrew Israelite theology. You may want to start thinking about that. Y'all may want to start thinking about how you can use this legislation to bring a claim or to get some benefits. I gotta go. Love y'all so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids, share the broadcast. Hit the link above so that you can join my school. I can't wait to see you again.